Arkhram is statistically the best player on any West, amassing 2 FNCS championship titles and 48 tournament first places. I think he's not only the best IGL in his region, but across all regions. Arkhram is adaptable. He's a player who can play well in any game mode, and in particular he's a very strong solo player. Why is this important to being a good IGL? Well, there's a stigma that comes with being an IGL, is that you're not a good fighter, you're not a mechanical player, and you're not overall that good. You are sometimes referred to as dead weight, but in Arkhram's case, this is 100% not true. Arkhram won the solo FNCS and has performed in multiple solo tournaments, including qualifying for the World Cup by winning his week of the qualifiers. Now obviously this was a long time ago, but Arkhram has proven to be consistent in solos, in duos, and in trios, and every single game mode that competitive has put forward to him. This is one of the reasons why he's so successful. There's no weak link in his gameplay. He's strong when it comes to being by himself, meaning he can clutch up. He's experienced in all game modes and all settings, performing multiple times on LAN. This huge amount of experience that he has, combined with his skill as a solo player, creates a great baseline for him to be good in trios. But there are a lot of players who are good in solos and have a lot of experience but aren't quite good in trios, so what makes Arkhram different?
We can't look at IGLs without looking at the communication between them and their teammates and how that works. The most important thing about Arkhram, Epic Will and Rex's communication is the fact that it's very calm and concise. I'm going to take a little listen in here and notice how everything is extremely calm. It's sentences, no one is shouting.
Cracked in zone.
Nice.
Right down below.
Back zone right
I
there.
have 40 AR.
I have 90, I have 90.
I have archery in that, so let me know if you can.
Right here under us, he's in wood.
Despite the fact that they're on high ground, they should be hyped up about it, they should be excited like many teams would. They're not. They're playing it very cool and calm. And what is the good reason for this? If every single comm that your team uses is screamed loud, how do you know it's actually important? If all of your communications are calm, this also slows down your memory a little bit. If you're screaming and you're in that frantic moment, you're probably bound to panic. But if you're calm, you're going to think about your movements and think about what you're doing. Then, once something needs to be done urgently from your team, that's when that volume gets picked up a little bit, and then your teammates instantly know that it's important. Listen to the way that Arkhram says that he has his opponent boxed here.
I full box one. I full box. I'm getting out.
He's not saying it frantically. He's not saying, I've got him boxed, I've got him boxed. He just says, I have this player boxed. And the reason for this is he does not want to commit to this fight at this moment. So he doesn't want to distract his teammates, so he just says this simple line of communication of, I have this guy boxed. But it's not, I have this guy boxed, come here. It's not frantic, it's not energetic, it's just calm, and the teammates at this point know that it's not something that's really important. Just listen to this cue right here when you hear Arkhram say that they need the body.
Dropped.
Oh, one's dead, in that box, we need that body.
Notice how, in comparison to the comms that we listened to earlier, it's much more frantic, it's almost louder, it's very stern. They know that they need to get that body in order to keep them moving throughout the game because that's the impact that they need. This team has fantastic ways to communicate, and this is just one of them. Arkhram is also very neutral. This also goes for the rest of the team. When something happens and they win a game, they're not overly pumped, they're not overly excited, so that high moment is not too high. The benefit of this is that the low moments are also not too low. It's good to hype up your teammates and be excited about things, but at the same time, it's very easy to then, if you have a really bad game, kind of get down and get unhappy about it, and that kind of kills the mood. With this team, if you listen to nearly all of their comms, they're relatively just in the middle. They're very neutral, they're just discussing the game, and they're almost tactical rather than being emotional.
Nice,
bro. Let's go.
This allows the team to think strategically and not make emotional-based decisions, meaning if the tournament's going badly, they don't necessarily have to just fumble the whole tournament and ruin it because they can just have a really good next game. It sets them up very well. They're nearly always in the same emotional state, no matter what the circumstances. Now, Arkhram is a human, same with Epic Will and Rex, they're all human at the end of the day, but this team is way more neutral than nearly every other team out there, and it's a real strength for them. Arkhram defines the word leader in the trio as well. I'm just going to play a little bit of the comms so you can hear it in the background, but notice the difference where you can hear Arkhram directing Epic Will and Rex to do things, and what the comms that he gets back from Epic Will and Rex are just sentences, they're just information. Arkhram uses Epic Will and Rex as two more eyes. They're relaying information back to him so that he can then make decisions and calls. And really one of the only times that Epic Will and Rex make a decision is when it's urgent. So let's listen into that a little bit.
Watch you up, I'm playing them.
Guys, watch out. There's a team in front. Oh, we can get chopped. We can get f***ing chopped.
Down west, right?
I'm just looking back, yeah. And
We're
back,
good.
back, Epic, look.
Yeah, 35.
Cracked.
Cracked. One shot on red.
Watch out.
Just notice how the comms are very, very clear and concise. At this point, you can hear Arkhram making the decisions very, very clearly, and you can hear the information that Rex and Epic Whale is giving back to him to allow him to make those decisions. Before we get to tip number 5, let's go for our bonus tip, which is always being ahead of the meta. He is always ahead of the meta, no matter which season I've VOD reviewed his gameplay from, no matter which meta is, if it's solos, duos, trios. Every single time I watch him, he knows exactly what's in the meta and how to play it. Now, these guys are often considered a lone mid-ground team. However, if you look at their first place from Qualifier 2, notice that they were consistently on high ground and they ended up winning 3 games out of 6 because of this. They know the meta is taking high ground and winning the games from then on out, so they've completely changed their playstyle of low and mid ground to being able to take that high ground very, very consistently. But not only that, they're very, very familiar with the ways that they can lose height. If you notice Arkhram is going for a heal off, and notice how high above he is over Epic Whale and Rex. The reason for this is because he knows the rocket launcher team is still in play, and if they rocket launcher at his high ground, yes, he may fall and take some fall damage from this distance. However, he's high enough so that the blast radius from that rocket won't hurt Epic Whale and Rex.
Oh, I'm above you guys. You might want to drop one.
Get up on Rex, get up on.
Get up?
Above, we're fine, I think.
Yeah, no,
Do
if
you have
they
any
hit
heals?
mine though, if they hit mine.
Yeah.
I have heals. I
Arc
have
wins heal off.
Okay.
Clearly he has the meta figured out at this point because they're consistently practicing over and over again, finding their own mistakes and correcting them. I'm gonna guess in a scrim sometime a long time ago, they were trying to win at this heal off, someone RPG'd up and hit Epic Whale and Rex who were down below trying to disrupt the heal off. So they've learned from that mistake, implemented that into the game plan, and won 3 out of 6 games. The biggest strength of Arkhram by far is blame, and most importantly the fact that he blames himself and he does not blame his teammates. If we watch any death of Arkhram, nearly all of the time he actually sits and understands his own mistakes and his own issues, and he'll actually lay out the game plan, what error his own team made, and how to correct that moving on forward. It's not blaming lag, it's not blaming stupid things. Yes, again, like I said earlier, he is human. There are definitely times where I've heard him also complain about things like that at the same time, but after that, it'll be a second or two, then most of the time you'll hear the game plan. We should have dropped to mid-ground, we should have changed layers, we shouldn't have gone for that elimination. It's all about strategy, trying to figure out what actually went wrong every single game and correct it. Very much similar to the last point. And this leads over to his teammates too. We'll do another listening of the communications, but notice firstly how Rex goes down. There's absolutely zero communication from Arkhram at this point.
200 pump me. Bro, I had no.
Dead.
Nice.
There's no, oh, you died, there's nothing, no blame, there's nothing. He just understands Rex has potentially made a mistake. They have to continue out playing the rest of the game. Same thing if Epic Whale goes down, and same thing if he goes down. He understands that his team still needs to play the rest of the game. He's not blaming them for making a mistake, it happens to everyone. Maybe this is something he does off stream, off camera, and doesn't seem to be anything that he does, at least while the camera is rolling. So not blaming your teammates is fantastic. And let's take this death here. Notice how Epic Whale is the last one alive, and once he goes down, they actually sit and discuss the death, but there's no blame involved. Just take a quick listen in.
I think you have to drop there right there, Epic. We don't have the mats to tarp mid-ground, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I was using hard mats too because I didn't have any wood.
Yeah, we definitely just stay low right there and then look for spray downs, to be honest, instead of staying mid-ground.
We just lost low ground, second moving in.
Yeah, no, I know, but we were mid-ground up first moving, that's the thing.
So what's the key factors I want to take away from that? There is no Epic Whale, you fucking suck, you did this, you are so bad. This is the mistake that we made here, and this is how we fix this moving forward. There's no negative vibes with the discussion. A lot of the times when other teams discuss these issues, they end up kind of pointing fingers and blaming. There's none of that within this team. The game's over, they understand the mistake that they made, and try and fix it going forward. If you like this video, I actually have another video on Arkhram that you can click here, which goes over a comparison of 2 of his solo gameplay, one from the solo FNCS and one from a DreamHack where he did very, very consistently. It's a really, really cool video, so check it out. Please like and subscribe if you also like the video. Peace!